为什么我喜欢读书？
I knew he was famous, Grandpa Joe, and I knew he was very clever. Clever? Cried the old man. He's more than that. He's a magician with chocolate. He can make anything he wants. Isn't that a fact, my dears? So, utopia is an ideal world, a perfect world. And interestingly enough, many times in history, there have been groups and leaders who have tried to make a utopia, and almost every time someone tries to make a utopia, it becomes a dystopia. So what do you think could be problems with a perfect world, besides the one we talked about already, where nobody dies, so you have to decide who dies? What other problems might you have? Let's trying to get you thinking about stuff. But one question I have is, what will motivate people to work? Will people become lazy? And then what do you do with all these people who are just sitting around doing nothing all day? If everything's already perfect, everything's done, then why would you have to do anything? That could pose some problems that could happen in a so-called perfect world.
读书给我带来什么？
So, Dottie isn't a word that we use anymore. You might know that Roald Dahl was British. So, and this book was written in the UK, I think in the 1960s, if I'm not mistaken. But reading about this, what do you think Dottie might mean? So we read, tell Charlie about that crazy Indian prince. Prince Pondicherry.
And he's crazy.
He's crazy, yes. Dottie is an old British word that means crazy. So when Grandpa George says he's completely dotty, it means he's completely crazy. Now, here's something funny, is that the story compares the river to an animal. Who here has seen a fast-moving river before? Okay, so Lincoln, you have, and Lucas, you have. So Lincoln, what do you see when you watch a fast-moving river?
Stuff going by, fast floating.
Yeah. So that's why it sort of compares it to an animal, because it's like the river picks up these things and then drops them somewhere and plays with all this stuff.
Let me give you guys an example of how you could restructure this, all right? First of all, when you're asked a question like this, try to include the question in your answer. So how did Opal's father remind her of a turtle? Opal's father, so do you see the difference here between the two answers? The first one is a little bit incoherent. There's the issue of, it sounds like someone is having it sounds like there's a lot of different thoughts going on while the first one is being written. When he was asked things, he refused to say like a turtle going back to its shell because it's scared. He refused to say what? So, and here it says like a turtle going back to its shell. What is like a turtle going back to its shell? Turtles don't say anything, so how is that comparable? When you write the word like in this context, then you need to put two clauses, two things that are similar to each other. Refusing to say something and a turtle going back to its shell are two very different things, which is why the sentence as a whole just doesn't make any sense. Does that make sense to everyone? Everyone get that? Okay.
期待与您在启迪范文列交流讨论论文及散花。